So now this next one is the Baruch Plan. This is the June 14th, 1946 American proposal for UN control of all the world's nuclear weapons. All right, and just so happens to be on Trump's birthday. So the Baruch Plan was a proposal to put all the world's nuclear weapons under the control of the United Nations UN, effectively producing a one world government, or a world government. And this proposal just so happens, let's put up one there. Yeah, one world government. So this proposal just so happens to have been made by the U.S. representative to the United Nations Atomic Energy Commission, or the UNAEC, Bernard Baruch, on the blood full moon birthday of Donald John Trump. Just can't make this stuff up, guys. Ultimately, the Soviet Union declined the proposal, and the Cold War, in other words, PSYOP, began, and the Soviet Union, fearing the plan would preserve the American nuclear monopoly, declined in December 1946 in the United Nations Security Council to endorse Baruch's version of the proposal. And the Cold War phase of the nuclear arms race followed, basically spending a lot of money on developing new military technology while people starve. Note that World War II ended on September 2, 1945. Just some interesting dates here. So September 2, 1945. Hitler supposedly died on April 30th, 1945. And the United Nations had its charter drafted on April 25th, 1945 in San Francisco, California, and adopted on June 25th, 1945. And then the first nuclear weapon detonation was on July 16th, 1945. This, again, is all just a year before Trump was born. And this was codenamed Trinity. Very interesting codename. And on August 6, 1945, the, quote, little boy atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan. And then on August 9th, 1945, the, quote, fat man atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan. And the production of the atomic bombs was undertaken by, of course, the Manhattan Project. And again, notice the name, Manhattan. So Trump, Manhattan, 9/11. And this was active from 1942 to 1946 and disbanded on August 15, 1947. Again, this is all a year before Trump's birthday. All these events occurring a year before Trump was born. Just quite ridiculous. And yeah, or all or most of these events, some of them around that time. And a year later, in June 1947, in the June 1947 issue of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, the infamous, quote, Doomsday clock was featured to warn humanity of how close it is to global catastrophe. And the bulletin was founded by Albert Einstein and scientists working on the Manhattan Project. So the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, the June 14th, or the June 1947, doesn't specify the exact date, but I wouldn't be surprised if June 14th. They issued this doomsday clock of how close humanity is to midnight, or basically a global crisis or extinction, etc. Warn humanity of how close it is to a global catastrophe. So here's a cover of the June 1946 Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists issue, which first featured the doomsday clock. And as the clock set at, quote, 7 minutes to midnight, 7 minutes over there. Very, very fascinating stuff. And here's some interesting details of the Baruch Plan. It's from Wikipedia. As the United States representative to the United Nations Atomic Energy Commission, financier Bernard Baruch spoke at the UNAEC's temporary headquarters at New York's Hunter College. So the UNAEC, again, everything's in Manhattan. This is also Manhattan Hunter College. And presented the Baruch Plan, the American proposal for United Nations control of all nuclear weapons. At the time, the United States was the only nation to have produced an atomic bomb, and Baruch opened his remarks by saying, "We are here to make a choice between the quick and the dead." Under the plan, the UN's member nations would have agreed to not develop nuclear weapons and to allow inspections by UNAEC to verify compliance with punishments for violation of the agreement. And no member of the UN Security Council would have been able to veto a resolution for enforcement. In return, the UNAEC would have assisted member nations in developing nuclear energy for peaceful uses. And a week later, the Soviet Union made a counter-proposal that would have delayed discussion of the enforcement procedures until after weapons were destroyed. Yeah, so very interesting stuff here. So no agreement was ever reached, and the world's nations developed their own nuclear arsenals. And one historian later offered the opinion that the Baruch Plan was the nearest approach to a world government proposal ever offered by the United States. So think about this for a moment. USA's closest proposal to a world government was on Trump's birthday on a blood moon on June 14th, 1946. Again, Flag Day and the U.S. Army Day. And this was proposed in Manhattan on this Hunter College. And if you go further, so Trump World Tower and United Nations headquarters, again, they're all in Manhattan. So note that the Baruch Plan was proposed in Hunter College, which is, of course, located in Manhattan, as is the United Nations headquarters, and Trump World Tower, completed in 2001. I couldn't find the exact day, but it was built from 1999 to 2001, and is located in United Nations Plaza. So both of these UN headquarters and Trump World Tower on United Nations Plaza. Hashtag, wow. Pretty epic stuff here. So you could do it's a 20-minute bike ride from Hunter College, Trump Tower to Trump World Tower and United Nations headquarters. Basically, you could literally just walk it. All right. So there is the Hunter College over here. You could bike it, 20 minutes gets to Trump Tower, and you just walk the rest to United Nations headquarters. And here is how it looks like. This is Trump World Tower. So Trump World Tower, constructed between 1999 and 2000. I couldn't find the exact date, and this is walking distance from the United Nations. And is walking distance from the United Nations. I'll just fix up the grammar there. So put that in bracket, and then here it is walking distance from the United Nations. Right there. So there's the Trump World Tower, and you can click this Google Earth and play around with it. Actually, I'll just click it and see how it loads up. You press it, and then you can have Google Earth, and you can maneuver it around and so on. Let's see how long it will take to load. We'll get back to that soon. So there's Trump World Tower. There's United Nations headquarters, literally right beside it. And let's go back here. So still loading. So on my tablet. See how long that would take. My PC would load up faster. There's Empire State Building, again, all in Manhattan, United Nations, and there is the Trump World Tower. And again, the name Trump World Tower. All right, yeah, there it is. It finally loads up, and it's loading. This Trump World Tower. Yes, epic stuff here, and you can move around, play around with it. Let's see how close it is to the WTC. It should be, it's on the east side. So WTC, let's keep going. Let's keep going. There it is. There's the big one. And there it is. There's the One World Tower there. One World Trade Center. Very, very interesting. Pretty epic stuff there. All right, and then the Statue of Liberty is going to be somewhere off there. Let's have a look at Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty should be right here, actually. Okay, let's see if it loads up. There's somewhere there. Actually, if you type in Statue of Liberty, it's not over there. It's actually a bit back. Just click this, enter. And it should move us to it. So there it is. Yeah, there's the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so this computer's lagging. And let's just turn this. And yeah, there it is. There's the exit. And there's the World Trade Center. There's the Statue of Liberty. epic stuff here. Anyways, you can play around with that. I'm just going to close that before my computer blows up. Alright, so Trump World Tower, built in 2001, literally at the United Nations. You couldn't script this any wilder. It was actually pretty ridiculous. And interestingly, Trump's campaign rhetoric is always saying that he's anti-globalist and so on. Alright,